The Matrix. Anytime you go against conventional ways of thinking and being, you will always be met with opposition. It boggles my mind that people will live their lives, see winners go right past them, and they won't ask them how they did it. If I see someone that has the results that I want, I'm going to try as hard as I can to have a conversation with them and ask, hey man, how did you create this level of wealth? If I see a billionaire, I'm going to ask them that question. I'm not going to be so in my ego to think, oh, I don't need his help. Well, clearly he's doing something right. And if what I'm doing isn't working, maybe he has a better plan. And the same goes for relationships. If I was in a sexless marriage and I was unhappy, don't you think I would ask a question to someone who is happy, who's getting laid all the time, doing whatever he wants? If that was something I wanted, which all men want to get laid, so don't tell yourself otherwise. But yes, I would ask. But people don't ask because they want to defend what they believe. They believe a certain thing, and if a way of thinking, a way of doing goes against that, it poses a threat to what they think. You know when you talk to someone and they disagree and you kind of have like this primal defensive emotion come over you, and it makes you want to like cross your arms and be distant, maybe get confrontational. Yeah. We're not really wired to be around people that we don't agree with, because historically everyone in our tribe in the hunter-gatherer times pretty much always agreed on the same things, shared the same values, had the same way of living and being. But if someone disagreed, there wasn't really rules to say you can't just stab them with a sword, you know. But now, you know, we all have different beliefs, and that's all good. I accept people's beliefs. And if someone believes something different, you know, I might ask them about it. I might be curious. But I'm not going to attack their beliefs. If someone is all for monogamy or waiting till marriage to have sex or whatever their relationship preferences are, I'm not going to attack them. You know, if someone is gay or lesbian, I'm not going to challenge them. It's just, they're doing them. It's not my preference, but they know the alternative. Obviously, they know a gay person could be straight, or I don't know if all people in monogamy know that they could not be monogamous. I didn't know for a while. But the key is, if someone has the results that you're after, why not stop and ask? Why not put your ego aside and put on your learning hat? Maybe not, you'll do what they tell you to do, but at the very least, you broaden your perspective. I just don't get it when people attack you for thinking differently, especially people that clearly have worse results than you do. I talked about in the last video, when there's a guy that is just a total beta male and has no freedom whatsoever in his life, no options with women, and he sees that I'm someone that travels the world, dates a bunch of beautiful different girls wherever I go, and really do whatever I want, I would think that you would ask, how do you do that? Like, I'm in this shit position. How do I get to where you're at? Now, maybe not everyone wants to switch positions with me, and that's fine. Live the life how you want to live it. But I'm just a philosopher, and I'll always ask. And most of the time, I'm not really interested, because most people really don't think differently than most other people on a baseline level. Like, there might be some difference of culture, of language, whatnot, but overall, most people are pretty much the same. And they all fall within the line of thinking of the Matrix. But the moment you go against the Matrix, man, you will be faced with a ton of criticism. The minute that you pull up to your family Christmas with two hotties on your arm, you're going to be getting weird looks. You're going to be asking, well, isn't one enough? You know, like, they're going to say, oh, Well, this doesn't look good. This doesn't reflect the family well. What do you mean it doesn't reflect the family well? I'm literally creating the family to be bigger than it would be with one woman. People. I'm all for abundance. I'm all for freedom. I don't see how that mindset would ever change. Because once you experience abundance and a certain level of freedom, you'll never want to go back to anything less. That's the law of exposure. Law of exposure. Anything you're exposed to at a higher level, you're always going to remember that. And you can't unremember it. So I'm wondering if when people are exposed to seeing the boss with the Bugatti pull up, or the guy that's at dinner with multiple women, I don't see how they'd forget that. Because they've seen now that it's possible. But most people won't ask. But if you get the chance to ask someone, to work with someone, to get mentored by someone that has the results that you want, man, ask them. Worst thing that'll happen is they'll say no, or you'll listen and you think maybe it's not something that you really want after all. Or that you try it and it didn't work. But don't stay in ignorance. And don't attack people for expanding themselves. That's all I got for you guys. I'm going to enjoy this beautiful beach day here in Mexico. I'm having some alone time, reflecting, really getting right with my habits and who I am. Just last thing is, men are at their best when they're at their basic, most simplest form. And I'm all for luxury. I mean, I just moved out of the penthouse. But I'm more of myself, more masculine, more independent, stronger when I'm like this. You have a chance, go get to be by yourself. Evaluate yourself, pick yourself apart. Really be vulnerable. Because soon I'm going to be around a bunch of hot women again. And I'm not necessarily going to have the alone time for days on end like I'm going to have right now. So if you guys are wanting to get some help and you want to transition into a non-monogamous lifestyle and you want to open your frame of thinking and have the results of having as many hot, beautiful women as you want to, transparent, honest relationships with each of them, that knowing that you're dating multiple women and accept you anyways, go to my website and apply for the coaching program. Like I said, if you try it, you see maybe I have the results that you want, and you try it, you don't like it, you always have that perspective, and you'll know how to do it if you ever, for whatever reason, want to do it again. But the odds are, is you're going to like it. You're going to like having more freedom and abundance of not needing to check in with anyone at any time to do whatever the hell you want to do. You don't want to be a hater either. You don't want to be poking in on me, because if you're hating on someone's abundance and freedom, it's only because you are bothered by that within you. You know that to an extent it is hitting you in the right spot and it's bothering you. And if it bothers you, ask yourself why. Go in the mirror. I'm not making you dislike this video or me. It's something within you that's getting triggered, just like the guy in the sexless marriage. He was triggered. Don't be that guy. Don't be that fat, lazy slob. And then on the woman's time of the month, she'll go out looking for a more alpha dude. Don't let that happen to you. Be the alpha dude now. We'll see you guys in the next video.